chewy, chocolatey and light olive oil brownies, slathered with ganache and topped with some rainbow sprinkles. Try these colorful little treats for your little ones this Valentine's Day. I have an 8-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son, and they invariably ask me to make brownies for every class party at school. I'm sure by now their classmates think that's the only thing I can make. I pretend to be bored and disappointed that they're asking me to make brownies yet again, but I always oblige them because it's so easy to make a couple of trays of brownies and then send it off to school. So today let's make some brownies with olive oil. These are less rich compared to the brownies which are made with butter. They are great as they are. You could just eat them, maybe even toss in some walnuts or anything you would like into the batter. But today we'll just make them plain, and then we'll slather on some ganache and top them with some rainbow sprinkles just to humor the kids. You could of course make these brownies from a box mix and also use the frosting out of a box, but please don't break my heart. These are really simple and very easy to make, so you could make them from scratch. So let's make the brownies first and then make the ganache as the brownies cool. Or you could also make the ganache the previous day and then just hit it to get it back to the right consistency and then pour it over the brownies. Please do watch this video on how to make ganache if you have never tried it earlier. You can find the recipe ingredient list in the description below the video. I will also try to list out the stores and the sources from where you could buy these ingredients from. So let's make the brownies first. I have this 9-inch square tin here which I have lined with baking parchment, and I have greased it lightly. My oven is preheated to 180 degrees centigrade. So we have some flour here sifted together with some cocoa powder, baking powder and a pinch of salt. There's some powdered sugar. We have some eggs. I have just whisked them lightly. And I have an orange here. We're going to be grating the zest of this orange and then putting it into the batter. And there's some olive oil and some chopped up dark chocolate in this pan here. And of course some vanilla. So we'll first melt the chocolate and the oil together in this saucepan. So in any recipe which involves melting of chocolate which has to go into the batter, you need to be really careful because you want the chocolate to be really well melted and very smooth so that the texture of your brownies is really good. If you have never melted chocolate before, please do watch this video on how to melt chocolate over the stovetop. Whenever there is any kind of liquid of a compatible quantity in the recipe which is to be melted with the chocolate, it makes your job easier and less riskier. Please do remember, whenever you melt chocolate, it needs to be really smooth and very fluid for the best texture. So our chocolate is almost melted now. So our chocolate is completely melted and really smooth, as you can see. The chocolate needs to be like this. If your saucepan is large enough, you could mix the batter right in the saucepan. Now we'll grate the zest of this orange into this chocolate here. Gives a really nice flavor, an amazing aroma. Let's add some vanilla into the eggs, about a teaspoon. And now the sugar goes into the chocolate mixture. And then the eggs in 3 additions. Imagine you're adding 3 eggs one by one. Mix well each time before you add the next egg. Remember, you're not trying to work up a volume when you are mixing the eggs into the chocolate mixture here. And now the flour mixture. Just fold it in or simply whisk it in. Once you have whisked in most of the flour, just take your spatula to make sure that there isn't any flour remaining at the sides and at the bottom of the bowl. You could add some toasted walnuts or almonds or anything else like chocolate chips if you would want to add into the batter. But since we already have an excess of chocolate here and lots of sprinkles also, I'm not adding anything into the batter right now. Now this batter goes into the pan. I'm using a 9-inch square tin here because I want the brownies to be thin and I can easily cut them out later. You could also bake them in a 8-inch square tin if you want some thicker brownies. But of course the baking time will vary. Now this goes into the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes. Always remember to bake brownies only till the toothpick comes out with some moist crumbs attached to it. You do not want to bake the brownies till the toothpick comes out clean. If you bake the brownies till a toothpick comes out clean, it means you have over-baked the brownies and they might be slightly dry, but they'll still be delicious. The baking time in your oven may vary, so give or take a couple of minutes. But please do remember not to over-bake your brownies. It's better to take them out a little earlier than a little later always. So here I have some brownies I have baked this morning, and we are now going to be cutting these out into little heart shapes using this metal cookie cutter. I find the metal ones are much better than the plastic ones. So now we just cut this out into, just twist the cutter like this, push it in and then twist it into the tin. Now we have this brownie here. You could make about 9 to 10 from this brownie. While we adults may not think much about brownie in any shape, it will really make a kid's day to see a brownie in the shape of a heart. And they'll be even happier when they see the sprinkles and the chocolate ganache on top of it. Please do wait for the brownies to cool completely so that you can cut them out into neat shapes. And you could actually let the kids do that, though you won't have much of these hearts left later. You could actually push in something like this before you pour the ganache, just to make a sort of brownie pop. They will of course fight over the colors. That's part of the charm. I have placed this cooling rack on top of this tray here to catch the drips of the ganache, and now we are going to be pouring the chocolate. I've made the ganache slightly runny because I want this to slide over these brownies easily. You could of course bake the brownies and then let the kids do all this on their own if you have the temperament for it. I don't have it. The brownies are placed smooth side up. The top is normally crackly, so I have placed them the smooth side up. And give them a gentle shake if you want the ganache to spread. And then once the ganache has cooled and set slightly, you could just sprinkle these. You could also simply cut the entire brownie into one large heart if you can, and then you could do the same thing. And please do save those bits and pieces of the brownies. They can have it with some ice cream and some chocolate sauce sometime over the weekend. So these are your rainbow brownie pops for your children for Valentine's Day. I hope you'll try these for your kids this Valentine's Day. It's really easy and it will really make their day. Coming up soon is a really easy make-ahead dessert in a jar for two for Valentine's Day. Please stay tuned.